Hey parents, this is the video for letter naming goal. Let's talk about why we do letter naming goal first, and then we will move on to what our homework looks like. When we started the curriculum we're using right now, I discovered that, or we found out that in kindergarten, they teach them sounds first. It is starting to change, but in kindergarten, they teach them sounds first, and they spend most of the year just talking to them in sounds. So they don't say that's an A, they say that's a. Well, in theory, this works really well for reading, but we're finding it doesn't really work well if we want your guys' help. We as adults don't talk in letter sounds, we talk in letter names. And when we move to spelling and we ask the kid, how do you spell cat? And they say, at. Okay, but how do you spell that? At. It's just not how we talk. We say C-A-T. C-A-T. Excuse me. So to help balance the fact that they've not been given those as strong as they needed to, I start with letter names. We have changed this some. They've started to change it where the kindergarten teachers are focusing more on letter names earlier. And so we have not had as much issues this year as we've had in the past few. However, we might as well get it out of the way, especially, hopefully, before we start spelling. So this is what the homework will look like. At the top, it says letter name. That's how you know it's the letter name and not the sound. I never put a number for their goal. I always put their name, because in our room, the goal is just to be able to name them all in 1 minute instead of finish this whole page, because that's not what I'm expecting. So I never put a goal. I always put their name there. What you're going to do for homework is you're going to take your phone, you're going to set it for 1 minute, and they're going to read for 1 minute. And as they're saying their letters, we want them, instead of going R, V, S, J, we want them to run it smooth and read it smooth. R, V, S, J, E, M, I, D, P. Sorry, Q. I'm looking at it backwards, excuse me. As they go, if they get something wrong, take a pencil, a pen, whatever you have nearby, and make a little mark. You're gonna do this 4 times, so maybe you make a mark in a different place. Maybe you make a mark with a different color. You get to decide how you deal with that. I'm not monitoring that. I've done it a bunch of different ways with my own personal children. So if I only had one color in the house, I would on Monday, I would mark it at the top. I'd make a little line at the top. Oh, we missed that one and that one. And then if we came Tuesday and they missed the same thing, I would make a mark to the side. So just whatever way you need to do it. If you have different color pens, I have a lot of different color pens in my house because I'm a teacher, but you might not. Or if you have crayons in your house, you can also use a crayon for it. But if you have different color pens, crayons, pens, pencils, whichever way you want to do it, as they read, you can mark it with a different color each time. The colors is a little more helpful for the kids because they can see, ooh, I missed it one day, but then the next day I got it right. But if all you have is a pencil, just make a mark at a different spot each time so you know what day, because otherwise you're gonna get, did I mark that today or yesterday? What day did I mark that? When the 1 minute timer goes off, beep, 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 I always put like a line or a bracket, so I know where we stopped, because then the next day, let's finish this day first. When they stop, you count up how many letters they got correct, and you write it in Monday. The next day, our goal is to beat where we stopped today. So maybe Tuesday, my timer goes off, beep, 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 and I'm way down here. And then I can say, oh, whoa, look at how many more you got. That's crazy. And then I write a number on Tuesday. Our goal is never to get perfect. I mean, we'd love that, but it's to get better each day. That's one of our growth mindset goals, is improvement means getting a little better each day. So I tell them, if you only get 1 letter better, that's still better. So we're trying to get better, either get further in the page or get less wrong, or both. As you're doing this, Friday is always supposed to be marked off. If I forget to mark it off, because I do, just mark it off. They're only ever supposed to fill it 4. This is going to improve their letter sound quicker than anything else. It is also super important that you try to do it once each day. They're going to need that spread out practice instead of doing all 4 in one night. But something crazy happened and I didn't get to it. Well, then do 2 in a night, or do it a day late and bring it to me late. If these come late to me, they're still accepted, and they get an Eagle Buck if they're completed because it's extra on top of everything else. It's important, but it is extra. So I give them an Eagle Buck if they have all 4 filled in. I think that's all for that. So if you have any questions about letter goals or what to do, I do have one more tip. If your child is getting very close to knowing all their letters and they're only missing 1 or 2, if you're noticing as you're doing this that they're missing the same 1 or 2 letters, a great game to play is find that letter, take them to the grocery store while you're grocery shopping and say, your job is to find all the letter G's you can find. And they start pointing them out to you, they will start to name that letter correctly. Or you point them out to them and they have to practice it even more. It's a great way to finish off those last few that tend to be their problem ones. If you have any other questions, let me know. Bye.